Redeemer Radio. This morning we're joined in the studio with the Franciscan Center, as well as Didier Meats, as we're going to be talking a little bit about a turkey giveaway that Franciscan Center does every fall. But before we get into the introductions, we'd like to start with prayer, as we do every hour. So, Amber, would you like to start us off with the prayer today?
Of course. Let's go ahead and bow our heads. Lord Jesus Christ, by your death on the cross, you triumphed over sin and death. Raise our fallen world to the glory no human wisdom can expect. Please grant all who are listening trust in your salvation and zeal to share it with our brothers and sisters. We ask this in your holy name, who live and reign with the Father in the unity of the Holy Spirit, one God, forever and ever. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Amber. That's great. So today, as we start with the Franciscan Center, the number again to send donations, 260-436-9598, and you can call direct or you can text the word give to the Holy Cross College text line at the same number, 260-436-9598. So our first introduction, so Tony Lay, the executive director of the Franciscan, that's a tough word for me this morning. I don't know why, so I need to do my voice exercises. So Tony, welcome to the show, and this is not your first rodeo, right? Every year you do this.
Well, no, yeah, it's not my first rodeo. I'm always happy to come here. Always have a lot of fun. It's the fastest hour of the year. So
that's great.
It's the greatest hour in radio.
Excellent. And this is also a family affair, correct? Your mom had started the Franciscan Center, and you've got other relatives at the same time incorporated in your mission and how you serve the poor, correctly?
Yes. So, yep. I told my mom 10 years ago I'd help her out for a couple weeks, and then I've got my daughter Lydia here, and I've got another daughter who helps us, Caitlin, and then Jessica Lynn. She's one of our cousins, and she's kind of the backbone of what goes on around there. So
excellent. That's great. That's great. So Jessica, welcome. You're the general manager of the two thrift stores. Is that correct?
Yes.
Excellent. Welcome. And how long have you been in the business, I guess, if you will, other than kind of volunteering all the time forever since you were a little girl?
I think it's been about 4 years since I've been doing it.
Excellent. That's great. Excellent. And we'll talk a little bit more about each of the different thrift stores and kind of how it works and what you do. And as Tony introduced his daughter Lydia, so Lydia, welcome to the studio.
Hi.
So how does he put you to work without violating all sorts of child labor laws?
So right now I run the medicine cabinet, and then I help out with the food pantry, and then do a lot of background work.
Excellent.
There, all over.
Excellent. And did you know that you would always be involved in some way, in some fashion?
I always knew I wanted to. I've tried other things, and somehow it pulls me back every time.
Excellent. That's great. Well, welcome to the studio. And then Amber Clausen, who read our prayer this morning. So Amber, you're the store manager, right, in the Coliseum thrift store?
Yes, I am.
Correct. Excellent. And how long have you been doing that?
I've had the role as manager for almost a year, but I've been working there for about 3 years. I started off just as an actual shopper because I loved the store so much.
Mm-hmm.
They were always so friendly when I came in there. Their store is so clean and put together, and lots of great products. And from going in there every single day, one day I actually asked Lynn, Monica, it was Lynn's sister, and she said, "Oh, of course we have a job for you." And so I just would drop my daughter off to school, and then I'd go in there and shop almost every morning because it was my favorite store to go to, and then worked every day when my daughter was in school, and it was just such a fun, enjoyable job. We got to meet a lot of great people, and just being there is a lot of enjoyment, and every day is different because you're always getting different things donated and new people coming in. We've also got to learn a lot of stories from people. Sometimes you can come in and there will be people actually that are homeless coming directly from just outside of Coliseum, and you can tell that they've been going through some rough times. And the one thing I just love about it so much is even before I knew I was allowed to do it, the first thing that Tony would always say before I was even in a management position was, if they're in need and it's a direct thing, please make sure before that you even contact a center that they're clean, healthy, and in a position where they can, function in life. And that's something that's always resonated with me about, most people who own a company are really focused on I'm the owner, I want this, and he just has such, everyone there has such an open and giving, it's not about them, and it's, I'm sorry, it's just one of the reasons why I love working there.
That's great, and that's such a testament to what the Franciscan Center does every day, to really meet people where they are, not just from the top, but all the way throughout the whole organization. That's a great example, Amber, of the lives and the way we can touch people's lives. So thank you for that honesty and that personal experience. And that dovetails exactly what Redeemer Radio does every day, to really meet people where they are. And that same authenticity that Amber's talking about comes across on the radio too, to help people no matter what their backgrounds are, whether they're Catholic or not Catholic, but to be able to share the faith just like the Franciscan Center does every single day.
It's a great place. Sorry
Absolutely.
about that.
No, it's excellent. That's exactly what we're here for, is to really touch people's lives and be authentic. And to start off the Fall Sharathon with that type of emotion is exactly why we're here. Also in the studio, a special guest. So we've got Chris Didier-Coffmann from the new owner of Didier Meats. So a big transition for you recently. And so they have agreed to, for every $25 donation, the Didier Meats will donate a turkey for the Franciscan Center's annual Turkey Tuesday coming up in November. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah. So Tim and Janet Didier, they've just lifelong donors to the Franciscan Center. So much. And then Chris jumps into the driver's seat at Didier's, and she picks right up. You know, the Didiers are just a great family. They've been treating the Franciscan Center so well for so many years, and it's so kind for Chris to just jump in without question. She's like, "Oh, I got this."
That's great.
So
That's great.
So
So-
I don't
it's
know
really
about
great.
that. I got this.
So welcome, Chris. So big adventure. You just kind of took over the store, and
Well, I wouldn't say took over yet. Just started in July, but it's a family environment, and I wanted to partake in this today and be a part of such a great event.
Excellent,
So,
excellent.
yes, but I started in the meat business at 10, so I'm
Speaking
the
of
last.
child labor laws.
Yes. So I'm last of 11, and my father started Didier Meats back in '64, and so one of the things that we all did was work, and it becomes instilled into your DNA in the Didier family. So I went off and did my own thing for many years, and had an opportunity to work with Tim and Janet and to keep it in the family. And so here I am. Tim and Janet haven't gone anywhere, so I always want to add that in because people know them. They don't know me, but I hope to continue their passage of all the good things that we've done with the Franciscan Center.
Absolutely, and there's a long history of the family's generosity, and as you know, with such a large family, and we've got a large group here today, I'm sure you'll have no problem jumping in with anything that you
No,
need to say
no.
because you're
That's
used
the
to
only
it.
way you get heard in large
Exactly.
families. So.
Exactly. So again, as a reminder, today we're here to hit the goal of $3,500 for this hour with the Franciscan Center. The number to call is 260-436-9598. That's 260-436-9598. Or you can text the word GIVE to the Holy Cross text line at the same number. We also can do an hour sponsor if you donate $120. That's $10 a month. That also earns you a free T-shirt. The theme this year is Made for Greatness. Or there's this new special giveaway that if you donate $300, then you are eligible to win Notre Dame tickets donated by Tom and Kathy Skiba. So again, that's a great new bonus this year. You can also go to redeemerradio.com and click on the Give Now button. And another bonus this year is if you'd like to watch what's actually happening in the studio, you can go live and watch the stream on Facebook or the YouTube link by going to redeemerradio.com. So let's go back into the Franciscan Center about what's new with the Franciscan Center. You've got a couple of things coming up soon with your annual fundraiser. Is that coming up soon?
Yeah, so October 16th, we have our dinner auction. That's our main fundraiser for the entire year. That October will get us through we have a window of, we call it a drought,
Mm-hmm.
but there's this big gap where not a lot is going on. And so October 16th over at Cerruti's in the Diamond Room, and Cerruti's always does a great job. It's a fun evening. It's a casual kind of a party atmosphere where we'll have a nice dinner, a silent and a live auction, and it's always a lot of fun. And of course, Cerruti's puts on a great banquet, and so if people are interested in that, it's I think the tickets are $75, but if people are interested, they can always call our office, and we can arrange tickets over the phone or however they want to do it. But again, it's more about having fun and mixing a little fundraising in there. And so we have some great items this year. A lot of things are the order of the day in 2021 is back order. Everything's on back order.
Right, it's true.
So we were fortunate with getting in touch with the right people at the right time to get some very good items this year, and it'll be a lot of fun.
That's great. And this is just another great example of just how all boats rides with the tides.
Correct.
So there's many different ways we can get involved and really showcase our faith and really support the community, and this is one of them. Donating today for the Redeemer Radio Sharathon, but then also on an ongoing basis, finding ways in the community where we can really make a difference, like supporting the Franciscan Center.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have such a great donor base and volunteer base that keep us going all the time. And then the stores and the people who work and run the stores, like these nice ladies here, and they do such a great job. And then this event, again, it's a way to incorporate some fun in the whole process as well.
Exactly, because that's fun is what it's all about. There's a
Right.
lot of great things. Listening to Redeemer Radio, smiles come across today all the time as you're listening to people talk and chat and hear the news information. And same thing with helping people. As we heard from Amber, it really changes people's lives when they come shop at the store. So that's great. And I knew all about the thrift stores, but where I was surprised and kind of preparing for is the Sack Lunch program, the food pantry. There's a lot of things that you do in the community, right? And Lydia, you had mentioned some of the things that you're responsible for.
Yeah. So Tuesdays and Thursdays we have our food pantry. Wednesdays is the medicine cabinet, and then every Saturday, volunteers will deliver lunches around neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm. And how does that work? How many volunteers do you have? How many lunches do you give away? Does it kind of
I think
depend?
we average 800 lunches a week.
So yeah, it fluctuates, but
Yeah.
right around 800 lunches every Saturday. So we have again, volunteers make us who we are, and we have a great group of volunteers come in on Tuesdays, and they'll prep the lunches with items that don't need to be refrigerated. So a dry snack and whatever, and then Thursdays they come in and they actually sit down and with great efficiency they make however many sandwiches it's called for, and today we're right around 800-ish sandwiches, and so they get them all ready, and then they go in the refrigerator, and then on Saturday mornings some volunteer drivers show up, and they have a scheduled route to go disperse these lunches, and people who call and ask to be on this route, they put on the route, and we'll pull up Saturday morning and honk the horn, and they come out, and we give them their lunches. And
that's great. And I imagine sometimes it also requires a conversation, so it's really kind of ministry. It's not just here's food and I'm leaving. It's really an engagement, correct?
The conversations are great. I love them, and a lot of times you're talking to young kids, and they and you just have a little quick banter back and forth with them and what's going on, and then sometimes they'll give you their insight on what's going on in the world of sports and what have you, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of good back and forth with the young ones.
And that's probably even more important than the actual meal itself. It's about the relationship and the treating them with dignity.
For
correct?
sure. Everything revolves around dignity, and so dignity is, a state of being worthy, and so everybody's worthy. And so that's how we treat everybody, is with a state of dignity.
That's great, and I think it's really wonderful to have partners like you being here for the Sharathon, because there's such a shared mission. It's really about the relationship. It's not about teaching somebody or telling somebody what to do. It's about that ongoing inspiration. It's about really inspiring people to be their best self, and using faith as an example of how we connect with others. And that's what, again, we're trying to do at Redeemer Radio. We've gotten a pledge in already to get the ball rolling. We've got Wes and Jill Parker have made a pledge already, so we're well on our way to our goal of $3,500. And just a reminder, for every $25 donation, a turkey will be donated to the Franciscan Center to give away during Thanksgiving time on behalf of Chris, Didier-Coffmann, and Didier Meats. So let's talk a little bit about the store. So Amber, you were telling us a little bit about the impact that the store can have on people as they come in. So as you've been developing these relations, do you see a lot of regulars? Do you see a lot of
yes. We that's one of the most exciting parts of working there. We have people that honestly I don't think sometimes they even need anything, but because the store is such a fun and enjoyable place for them to come, just like you would get your morning cup of coffee, which we do offer that there also for free. You can start the day off with a fresh cup of coffee, and I think a lot of the people who come in just love seeing us as employees. We know a lot of them by name. We like to show them around, for certain things that they're looking for, but it's really great that the relationships that we build with them, obviously it's great to see their happiness when they come in just from something small that we can bring them each day. But you definitely see different walks of life, and it's really exciting to be able to change them just even in a little bit every time they come in and shop. So
Great, good. So they come in for a sip of coffee and a dose of amber.
Oh, definitely.
Right? That's great. A little dose of amber. That's fantastic. So and how do you get donations for the thrift stores?
It's definitely one of our biggest things is just people dropping them off. We definitely during our summer months, I think a lot of people have been doing their spring and summer cleaning because we are usually pretty full every morning. So it takes a lot of teamwork to get everything in, but we also do we have our times where there's slower in most busy months during the summer where parents are at home with their kids during the summer. We see the donations go up, but then usually during winter months they are down, so we really appreciate the donations that we do receive. But I would just say I guess Tony or Lynn could probably interject at any point. Like, it's usually just word of mouth and just seeing our shed and dropping it off. And most people get in the habit of, they love our mission. I've heard multiple times from people who do drop off, hey, I am dropping this off to you guys because I know that this is going back to the community. There's not someone who's, directly benefiting from this donation after it's sold except for the community. Like other businesses and thrift shops, there are some that there's one particular owner who's receiving, all of the profit, and that's not what we are. Since we are a nonprofit, over 60%, I think, of what we make goes back directly to the community, people in need. And I love the fact that there's not just a stamp of who we help. So if someone calls and they're, this is just, an idea, but if someone's coming from a domestic relationship that they need to get out of, or if they had a house fire, or if they just fell on tough times due to COVID or any other type of thing, I know 100% that Tony will be the first person, and the Franciscan Center will be there to help them get out of a bad situation they may be in. So they offer all kinds of things.
We also do pickups.
Yes. Yes.
Very important on our slow months.
Oh, yes. So anytime.
Furniture and.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Lynn, did you want to say any type of things about like what type of things we pick up, as far as what we're looking for?
We don't take mattresses,
Yeah.
tube TVs, entertainment centers, pretty much anything else we take.
Yeah.
If you'd buy it, we'll sell it.
Oh, that's correct.
Yeah. So the nature of technology is if it's antiquated to the general market, it's antiquated to us as
Yes.
well. So some things, when tube TVs went away, so did the entertainment centers. And so, something that might have cost $1,000 5 years ago, we can't even give away these days. So, and that goes with the, like the large projection screen TVs. It's just shocking to me what they used to cost, and we can't even give them away these days. So.
Or even an organ.
Or an organ.
That's a lost art right there.
That almost made an imprint on the floor. We had it for so long.
That's great. You have to give away lessons
It
too,
was,
right?
yeah. Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I mean, I thought it would be a wonderful thing because it was beautiful, and we were so thankful for the people who donated it. But I found out really quickly that might not be a.
Maybe it's going to be background music. You have somebody play the organ, get some of the talented Didier family to come sing, and you could really entertain all your guests.
Yeah, I was going to say, unfortunately, most of what we were hearing were 6-year-olds turning it on and banging on it during while their parents were shopping. But what were you going to say?
No, if you still had it, we could make arrangements.
Oh, we smiled and let it leave the door last week. So
Now on the flip side, one of the things that is a hot commodity is the old console style record players.
Really?
Yeah.
And we can't even keep them. So if you have a record player and it just has the stylist is worth $50. So,
Oh, that's great. Things
but
are coming back.
Yeah, those great big cabinet console style record player, they for whatever reason you can't even keep them. They're gone as soon as they come out.
That's great.
And but that's just one of the weird things that goes on in the thrift store world, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's such a interesting little dynamic what you see every day, and these girls are on these girls see it every day. I don't see it as much as they do, but they live it. So
It's great, and that's the thing too. It's a store, and really anybody can shop. So again, anybody can come into the store and they can shop for whatever. And I think that's the great thing, just as a community builder opportunity at the thrift stores. So as we near our halfway point in our hour with the Franciscan Center, we have another donation from Chris and Monica Nelson from Cardinal Salvage, and they've made a pledge. So again, we're on our way to the goal for this hour of $3,500. Just a reminder that for every $25 donation, Didier Meats will make a donation of a turkey to the annual Turkey Tuesday that comes up in November with the Franciscan Center. So again, make sure those pledges are coming in, and we will be taking a break at this point to move forward on the Redeemer Radio Fall Sharathon. The number again to call is 436-9598. You can also text the word GIVE to the Holy Cross College text line, 260-436-9598. And don't forget, there are many ways to donate. So $120 will give you an hour sponsor. It costs approximately $120 per hour for Redeemer Radio to be on the air. The T-shirt that you gain with the $120 donation is Made for Greatness is the theme this year. You can also, if you donate $300, you can enter to win a giveaway for Notre Dame tickets donated by Tom and Kathy Skiba. So we'll take a break, and we'll be back for the next half hour with the Franciscan Center.
Redeemer Radio broadcasts the truth and beauty of the Catholic faith 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We bring the good news of Christ to listeners throughout the Diocese of Fort Wayne South Bend and beyond. With your donation, Redeemer Radio can continue planting the seeds of faith in the hearts of every listener.
I think all areas need Catholic radio. It's just, once I started listening to it and I would change the channel to regular programming and I would hear the music that was on and I would hear the message that the music was singing, I would hear the things that the DJs were talking about on, it was heartbreaking almost. I was like, I don't want to listen to this garbage. And so I would turn it back because you hear a good message you hear about hope and faith and love and truth and beauty and goodness and yeah, everybody needs that. Everybody needs that, no matter where you are, no matter what you're listening to. And once you start to fill up your space with that, going back to the other stuff, you really see where it's lacking.
Joining our mission is even easier with our mobile app. Download Redeemer Radio's app to your Apple or Android device and click Give Now.
This is Bishop Kevin Rhodes. On my program, Truth and Charity, I'm able to connect with the faithful across our diocese each week, discussing a variety of topics and answering your questions. Thank you for listening to and supporting Catholic programming like Truth and Charity, heard right here on Redeemer Radio.
Become a day sponsor and honor a birthday, anniversary, feast day, or other special occasion with an on-air message. With a $400 donation, your personalized message will air 6 times on the day of your choosing. For a $700 donation, it will air 12 times. And for $1,000, it will air 18 times. Plus, your donation supports the mission of Redeemer Radio. Become a day sponsor now.
Help us amplify the voice of God. Pledge now by calling or texting GIVE to 260-436-9598.
Help us continue reaching souls for Christ. Call or text GIVE to the Holy Cross College text line at 260-436-9598 or donate online at redeemerradio.com. This is Redeemer Radio's Sharathon. Thank you for tuning in to your listener-supported local Catholic radio station.
Welcome back. This is John Christensen, your volunteer host for the Redeemer Radio Fall Sharathon. Today we're here with the Franciscan Center, and we've been getting pledges during the break. So Todd and Julie Tittman, thank you for your donation. We've got 14 turkeys that have been donated so far. So we're well on our way to the goal of $3,500. Again, as a reminder, Didier Meats will be donating a turkey for every $25 donation so that we can give them away at the Turkey Tuesday from the Franciscan Center in November. Again, the phone number to donate is 260-436-9598, or you can text the word GIVE to the Holy Cross College text line, or you can go to redeemerradio.com. So today we're joined in the studio again by the Franciscan Center and Didier Meats. So Chris, you've got a connection with Franciscan Center. How did that originally come to be? Were you?
Well, I think in my family, my parents are no longer with us, but just instilled a giving forward and paying it forward. And so even as a young child, my family was doing donations. And then as the Franciscan Center became a reality, the relationship with Tony and the Didier family has just continued to grow. So we want to give back to the community, and we all never know where we're going to be at one point in our lives. So as Amber gave quite a testimonial to just her involvement with the Franciscan Center, and it's just such a great cause.
Absolutely, and it's a really good point about the generational impact of what our example can show. And I think that's a lot of what Redeemer Radio does too, is really generationally, how do we pass on the faith? And how do we talk to people in the language that they understand, and meeting them where they are to share our faith and to demonstrate our faith? And you had a great example of how it worked in your family. And Tony, and your family too, your mom started everything with just delivering sandwiches to homeless people. Is that correct? How it all kind of started in the beginning?
Yeah, so when I was still young, my mom was out and about at some point, and she encountered this young girl. And I tell this story every year on the radio, so a lot of people have heard it. But she was living in a van down by the river. And it was her husband, and they had a baby. And she was married at the age of 15, and they relocated from West Virginia to Fort Wayne with no money, no anything. And so my mom had a brief conversation with her. She ran home, made him a bunch of lunches, and brought it back. And that's what she could do it. You know, she was a young mom, 40 years old, with a bunch of kids of her own, but that's what she could do. And so she did it. And then she continued doing it, and she started seeing more and more people. And it grew from there. And, you know, that notion of she just did what she could, it's actually, you know, St. Francis himself said, you know, start by, I'm going to screw this up, but
start by doing what's necessary,
and then what's possible, and soon you're doing the impossible. And so to think that, you know, you're just going to go out there and feed 800 people every Saturday, that's just ridiculous. You're not going to do that. But if you start with what you can do, and that's what she did. And so, you know, 1989, it was a couple lunches, and now, you know, 2021, it's 800 plus. And we've been as high as 1,500 lunches.
Wow.
But in our neck of the woods where we're located, there's been a couple of neighborhoods that have actually been completely torn down. And so that fluctuates the numbers a little bit. But the numbers, the recipients, call them numbers, but they're not numbers. They're people who are impacted by it. But that's a very fluid dynamic. It changes all the time. New people in. Some people are good and they don't need it anymore. But you know, again, it's important. You know, it's got to be a daily reminder for myself that it's not a number. It is a person, and whether it's 1 or 800 doesn't matter. It's a person who's being impacted, and so we have, you know, the people around us, the people that surround the Franciscan Center and support the Franciscan Center, that keep that part of it going.
That's great. And I've heard you say before that nobody can do everything, but everybody can do something.
Correct.
You know, and I think that's a really great testament. And also from a generational standpoint, if you think about the impact of your mom's decision to deliver a sandwich to a family in need, that has reverberated across 3 generations now, with Lydia involved in the program and really helping on a daily basis, and not just your family, but extending to the Didier family. And that's just one example. Obviously, the people that Amber touches every day in the store, you know, that just extends the reach exponentially. And that, again, is a shared mission with Redeemer Radio. So everybody has a story as we share stories, and we can extend that through the radio, especially now with COVID, as people are nervous about being in different places. The radio can really be that common denominator for everybody to reach out, share their stories, which makes this hour really special in terms of how we're reaching people's lives and making a difference. So again, everybody can't do everything, but everybody can do something. So the something that you can do today is donate to the Fall Sharathon here at Redeemer Radio. Again, the phone number is 260-436-9598. And also keep in mind that there's many different ways to give, whether it be a monthly pledge, a stock donation, or a minimum required distribution from your IRAs for those who are 70 and a half years old or older. So again, just go to the Redeemer Radio website, and you can find lots of different ways to give, lots of ideas, or you can text your donation by texting the word GIVE to Holy Cross College text line, again, 260-436-9598. So, Lydia, how is it that you were able to come today and none of your siblings came today? Did you get the short stick or the long stick, or?
I don't know. They all have school, so I'm I don't know.
You're the lucky one. So it's my understanding that you're the oldest of 11. Chris was the youngest of 11. Is that am I getting that connection right?
That is correct.
Yep.
That's a big leadership role to be the oldest of 11.
Yeah, I always tell people our house is never quiet.
I can believe that.
Yeah.
I can believe that. That's great. How old is the youngest?
She just turned 3.
Wow.
Yep.
That's great.
So.
That's great. Chris, I won't ask you how old everybody is in your family, so of the 11. So
Yeah, there's a little bit of an age difference between me and the Lay family.
That's
and the Didier
great.
Family.
So
Though we've continued.
Excellent. So Tony, what's life like in a household of 11?
I don't want to talk about it.
Is that why you're here?
No, it's great. It's great. I was raised in a large family. My wife was raised in a large family, and so we just don't know any different. It's a lot of fun. It's got all the whatever you would expect. It's there, but it's a blessing for sure. And we're very grateful to be where we're at.
Exactly. And what I really appreciate about what you're bringing here, we've talked about fun a lot of different ways. Fun in the fundraising, fun at the stores, fun in terms of engaging with the staff. Obviously, there's a spirit of camaraderie that happens every day at the Franciscan Center. Is that? Oh, yeah. All right, so Lynn and Amber and Tara, who couldn't be here today. Tara's another wonderful manager. They do a very good job of keeping the team engaged and keeping it fun. While they have a managerial responsibility, but they do it in such a good way to where it doesn't have to be all serious all the time, and they keep it fun, and so they treat their team very well, and it's a testament to how things are run around there, and so it's very grateful to have such good people around. Excellent. And the store you've got on West Jefferson, I mean, that's not that old, right? Isn't that a relatively new location, a couple years, something like that? 3 years. So, yeah. And so, yeah. And so Tara, she's the manager out there, and she does an excellent job. And so that was kind of a fluke how that all transpired, but it worked out well. We're glad. We're grateful for that, and good. So we're able to reach both sides of Fort Wayne in that regard. So good. The fluke, Holy Spirit moment. Call it as you will, right? Yeah, exactly. That's great. Excellent. Well, we've got a couple more donations, including Chris's brother, Tom Didier. So we might hit that $3,500 goal if you just have your brothers and sisters, your family call. Is that right?
I've been bugging them. I've been texting them.
Exactly.
They all text. Even at this generation, we text.
Excellent. With these large families, it extends really fast. So, again, we are well on our way to the $3,500 goal. And a reminder, for every $25 donation, Didier Meats will be donating a turkey to the Franciscan Center for their Turkey Tuesday coming up in November that they do every single year.
We got a few more.
Excellent. More are coming in. Thank you, Martha. Thank you, Don and Jeannie. And Jessica's husband, Brian. So excellent. That's great. So we're getting family members. That's a wonderful thing. And Jessica's doing a great job, as her husband says. So I would agree. So way to go. So we'll take family members.
Yes, I want to call out Don and Jeannie Kowicki. That's my sister.
Excellent. There we go. Just extend the family. So it's a big reach. And again, that's what Redeemer Radio is all about, too. We're just an extended family. So making sure that everybody feels included and everybody feels involved. So we're happy to be here for this hour. So Amber, let's talk a little bit more about what happens in the thrift store on a daily basis. So you've got donations. I mean, one of the silver linings of COVID is people are spending so much time in their houses that they are getting rid of some things, and so they're finding ways to donate and clearing their house, and so that just benefits the thrift stores, correct?
Yes, it definitely does. Right now is probably one of our very top seasons for donations. So we are a packed house right now in the back room. So it's a very busy job, but it's a lot of fun. So yeah, it's a lot of communication between the Southwest store and our store, making sure that both stores are adequately, stocked with the right items. A lot of sorting, going through items that we can sell directly at our store, or sending things, to other places that might be able to utilize them better. But no, it's definitely a very busy time of year right now. But no, we have a great staff there. All of the employees work super hard to make sure that our store stays nice. We have employees that, stage. We have a lady named Kelly who stages it beautifully. So people comment all the time, wow, this doesn't look like a thrift store. It has so much care put into it. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. And then we have ladies who have worked there for many years. So people, just like I was saying earlier, they'll come in and just, different age brackets. There's ladies that come in and bring our front cashier pickles, and, it's just kind of silly. But I think that sometimes people want to be needed, if that makes sense. And so just like little doses of things that make someone else happy are important to them. So they'll come in all the time just to see the cashiers and that kind of thing. So, but yeah, very busy time of year for us. But we'll definitely see a slower rate of work once the winter months hit. So it's important, and we really appreciate all of our donators because we couldn't do it without them.
Excellent.
So.
And are you in need of volunteers at this point?
We will always take volunteers anywhere, and we actually, for anybody who's interested, are still currently hiring. We are always looking for people with good, work ethics, good personalities, have a desire to learn more, and are flexible with their skills. With the Franciscan Center, as much as it is a super fun job, as long as you don't have a cookie cutter idea of what each day is going to be like, it is a really fun, enjoyable place to be at. So if you come in with a really flexible attitude, and if there's going to be days you come in and you're like, oh my goodness, I need coffee immediately and strong, because it's just coming in, the donations are coming in. I always call it the conga line at the back door, because there are days where there are 4 and 5 cars lined up with, a 9-person garage sale, loaded in their truck. And then there's other days where we can just gradually bring things in. But as far as people looking for jobs, if you're interested, it's a great place for people who need flexible hours. If you're interested in anything, we always are looking for people to help tag, sort new items, receive donations at the back door. And really all the requirements are a flexible your work hours, and a great personality who work well with other people. So if you're interested, give any of our locations a call.
That's great. And retail can be a brutal environment, but it sounds like this is much more like a family environment, that it's just really engaging with people and having conversations and really having a fun time together.
It definitely is. I really enjoy it. Obviously, there are days where sometimes, you can't always make every person happy. You always want to do your best, but like we were saying earlier, we never know what anybody is going through in that personal day. So they could just have been coming. A lot of times you'll see someone that maybe will come to the front, and you can tell it's nothing that you've done directly to them, but you can always tell, like, if there's maybe a one every couple weeks that come in, and you can kind of see sadness or something. And I really try hard when they do come up to ask them, did they find everything okay? Or, is there something I can help you with? You seem a little sad. And then normally, I won't say always, that they'll say, I'm sorry, I just lost my brother, or, I just came from, we had a girl last week, and this is really upsetting. Like, she was probably in her, I want to say, late 20s to early 30s, and she came in kind of sad because she was looking for a pair of shoes that she left behind accidentally, and she started getting kind of choked up about it. And I was like, I am so sorry, I don't see him up here, and I said, I will help you find a different pair. And she said that she just got done burying her 13-year-old sister from leukemia. Wow. So a lot of times there's a lot of stories that are connected to, and they've always continued to say, like, we wouldn't have been able to, have the service we had without, you guys helping us with this or that. Not directly that, actual story, but there's people all the time that will come in, and you can, sometimes see like they're hurting in some way, and if you reach out to them, you can see the ways that you can help them, from what we're able to give back to them. So
what a powerful story.
Yeah.
You just never know what people need.
Yes.
And this is the same thing with Redeemer Radio. That's what makes this hour so special, is that shared mission. And you never know where people are in their lives, and meeting people where they are and listening to them and really giving them time. And just like the Redeemer Radio, you never know what you're going to get sometimes when you turn on the radio when you need it, when the Holy Spirit kind of moves you. And really, Redeemer Radio can bring the Holy Spirit to people in a new and different way that is helpful to everybody when they need it. We're getting a lot of pledges in, so again, the phone number is 260-436-9598, or you can text the word GIVE to the Holy Cross College text line. Again, 436-9598. And we're well on our way to the goal of $3,500 on the first day of the Fall Sharathon. So a lot of thank yous. So, Tony, can you see the screen? Do you want to do some of the thank yous that have come
I
in?
am completely blind.
Oh, all right. He didn't bring his glasses. All right. So
I always...
I want to say thank you to Jean and Marilyn, my parents, for pledging.
Excellent. Aww. And we've got Mike Winker has pledged, and we've got Becky McCutcheon, and we've got Teresa Freiberger has pledged. She supports Franciscan Center. They mean so much to them. And also supporting Tim Didier Meats. Again, wonderful. We've given away 32. We've qualified for 32 turkeys so far, so keep the pledges coming in. Again, just a reminder that for every $25 donation, Didier Meats will be donating a turkey. So for every $25, the turkey will be donated to the Franciscan Center for their Turkey Tuesday coming up in November. There are many ways to give. Again, you can go to RedeemerRadio.com. You can text, you can call, and many ways many reasons to give. If you want to qualify for the annual T-shirt, this year's theme is Made for Greatness, and to qualify for that, it's a $120 donation because it costs approximately $120 per hour for Redeemer Radio to be on the air. Another new opportunity this year is when you pledge $300 or more, you're automatically eligible to win 2 tickets to Notre Dame versus USC on October 23rd, donated by Tom and Kathy Skiba. And $400 or above is a day sponsor, so you can honor your loved one or a special day with on-air messaging. $400 earns 6 on-air messages, $700 earns 12 on-air messages, and $1,000 earns 18 on-air messages. So it's perfect for your anniversary, your birthday, feast day, or in remembrance of a loved one. So we've got a little bit left. Ed McCarthy has pledged, so thank you, Ed. And we've got about 7 minutes left to get to our $3,500 goal. Again, so everybody's texting madly to bring in their large families, so good job.
Yeah, Lynn has quite a large family, too. She has 9 children, am I correct?
I have 8.
8,
no,
sorry.
I'm from a family of 9.
Well, you forgot to count me. I'm just joking.
That's great. That's great. So, Tony, what else is happening in the world of the Franciscan Center?
Well, it's a never. it's always going. It's like Amber said, it's an extremely busy time. We are prepping for our fundraiser, and at the same time, also Turkey Tuesday. And for people who don't know, Turkey Tuesday that's one of those things that started off small and turned into a juggernaut of its own. So that's an event that, again, we started it through our food pantry, where the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, instead of just traditional food pantry stuff that we did every other week of the year, we gave turkeys out. And it started out with like 25, 30 turkeys, and now we're up over 1,000.
That's great.
And so if you think the average turkey is about $14 to $15, that's simple math. We're talking somewhere between $13,000 and $15,000 in just turkeys.
The turkeys are also it's a big deal. So it also kind of reinforces the dignity of the person to allow them to invite others into their home as opposed to
absolutely. We're one of the most. I mean, I again, something I say every time I'm on the radio, but it was a very powerful testimonial when an older lady came up to me and she says, how grateful she is because this gives her an opportunity to invite her family to her house for a nice Thanksgiving dinner. And again, the thank you, she gave the thank you to me, but the thank you goes to the donors and the people who support us. And I mean, Tim and Janet Didier, when they jumped on board and they're like, oh, we're all about this. And
that's
so, and through Redeemer Radio and this Sharathon, they're like, this is a win-win. This is a great opportunity for everybody. And they've never passed up an opportunity to help. And so, and so it was a great thing. And what a lot of people might not know is that, the supplier pays more for a turkey than the consumer does. That's one of those rare instances where they lose money.
Wow.
So it would be, at a grocery store level, they would call it a loss leader. So they're selling them for less than they're buying them for, and same goes for a lot of these things. But so we're very grateful for Didier's and all the supporters here who help us put this event on.
That's great, and gratitude is a wonderful theme that reflects not only your organization, but Didier Meats, but also the Redeemer Radio Sharathon. So it's a wonder that we all come together to really share our faith and to express it in multiple ways.
And Lynn gave me a reminder here. In the midst of all this fun stuff going on already, we are in the process of opening a new store.
Wow.
So yeah, that's quite a ordeal. And so that store, we hope to have it open again. Like I said, everything in this world is on back order right now. So, but as soon as things balance out, we hope to have that store open here in the fall yet this year. Over there, it is going to be in the old Tumas building there on Coldwater and Coliseum.
Okay.
So the entrance is off Coldwater, and it's a beautiful, beautiful building. It'll have a little easier access. And it's just, we're not getting rid of our Coliseum location because we love that location. It's just, we have so many donations, we have to have an outlet to sell them all and give every donation its due.
That's good.
So,
Well, there's a lot of people in need, which is really great. And speaking of in need, we're getting lots of last-minute donations, which is great. So, again, Chris, another brother, so Phil Didier. So is this the greatest teacher ever from Bishop Dwenger?
It
is this the Phil
greatest
that we were
teacher
talking
ever.
about? Excellent. So thank you, Phil. We've also got Matt and Becky Kind have pledged, and Joseph Didier has pledged. Excellent. We've got 2 more minutes to squeeze in the last few pledges. Again, the phone number is 260-436-9598, or you can text the word GIVE to Holy Cross College text line.
Yeah, this is Chris, and I just want to thank just all of the participants today, Franciscan Center and Redeemer Radio, and just being able to be a part of this. And you feed the stomach, you feed the soul. So, and I wanted to just truly bless everybody as part of what you do every day. So it's great. And just a lot of emotion as part of this hour for me, and the journey that you all go on every single day, and what you do. So thank you.
Well said, Chris. That's a great
Yes.
segue as we tail off on this hour. So again, excellent work for all of you being in the studio today. I appreciate all of your help, and we made a significant dent in our pledge total for the fall Sharathon here at Redeemer Radio. So again, extra thank you for the Franciscan Center, all of you joining us today, and again, all your events coming up at the thrift store and what you do on a daily basis with the SAC lunch program, the food pantry, all of the different things, the medicine cabinet. So again, thank you for everything you do. We're talking about reaching real people in real time and making a difference in people's lives every single day, just like Redeemer Radio does at the same time. So again, thank you very much for being here, and again, thank you for our pledgers. People have made pledges this hour, and we'll move on to the next hour. Again, thank you very much. It's wonderful to meet all of you.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.
You're listening to Sharathon on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM.